Hey. 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 Hey.
Niggas Hate Facts is back.
Episode 7.
Episode 7. Special guest in the building.
Yep. Mel, but hold up.
Hold on, Cal.
Hold on.
Cal, you in this bitch?
I'm in this bitch.
I'm in this bitch too, but Doug don't want to say it.
He ain't want to say it. That's that's the normal. Episode 1 through 5.
Oh yeah, man.
We in this bitch, and we ain't like it. But if you peep last episode, this nigga didn't say it, and me and Mel still hit you with the "we in this bitch" because it was so normal.
I was disappointed.
They was hating on me, man.
Jai-like.
They was hating on me.
But yeah, the regular niggas are here, and we got another one.
Another one.
We got a fourth one.
Another nigga.
Yeah, special guest. We got Julian Dangerfield.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, no problem. Father, husband, nigga with a career, nigga writing books, doing real estate.
Sound busy.
We know a lot
busy,
of authors,
man.
man.
Busy.
Yeah, man.
We know a lot of
I need you
authors.
niggas to find some people to bring on, man. I ain't got nobody else that's actually this
Cal
cool.
know all
You know what I'm
authors. He
saying?
don't be reading
I write out all the cool people I know.
The one nigga that don't
You know what I'm
read his
saying?
book, though. Everybody that write books.
Right. No, all the authors don't be reading
That's fucked
shit.
up. But hey, you know bullshit though? When I found out this nigga wrote this book, was the same day you was like, nigga, we gotta do this shit. And I literally was like, hold up, yeah, if this motherfucker can find time to do
No,
be
you
a
text
fa-
me that day.
Yeah.
That exact day.
No, that real shit, yeah.
You text me, you was like, how the fuck did you find
time
time?
to do this shit. I'm bullshitting on doing this
He must lock
podcast.
himself in a closet.
Nah, yeah, because I literally thought, I was like, this nigga wrote a book.
Yeah.
This nigga wrote a fucking book, be
Late
a father,
nights.
a good father,
Good
a
father.
husband,
I appreciate
a
it.
nigga with a 9 to 5, nigga go picks up kids, drops them off, and still wrote a book. Nigga, I come home and can't do shit. I said, nah,
let's clap
we
it up
doing
for
the
him, man.
yeah,
We
nah,
gotta
that's
clap it
real shit, yeah.
I
And
appreciate it.
Literally, you said, yo, let's do the podcast, and I was like, yeah, fuck that. What do we have to do? I'm calling this nigga. Find the cameraman and we gonna do it. So you, Jai, like set this off. So
Inspiration.
Oh,
Like I
okay,
did,
so
I
we
did
got to thank
text you.
him.
Yeah.
Real
Real
I
shit,
still
Jai, like,
appreciate
I mean,
y'all
not-
for
not
doing
really,
it and getting it
but
done,
still,
man.
nah, I said,
Because
fuck
y'all
that.
still could have bullshitted the whole
could've.
time. Y'all still could have procrastinated. You could have been thinking
It
about
was-
it, talking
yeah,
about
you know
it.
what?
But jumping out there, man, that means y'all did it.
That's
so,
some
yeah.
real
So
shit.
cheers to
So-
everybody.
Thank you.
So we got him joining in today. We're going to get to his book, what he has going on. It's all going to tie into what we're really going to talk about today. But yeah, we'll eventually get to that, man. We got a little bit of, current events, what niggas talking about, what the fuck is going on. Clearly ain't shit going on.
Clearly.
But the fucking corona shit. But you know what? It's like it's a lot of cool shit that's spinning off because of this shit. Like niggas is finding time to be creative. You got the motherfucker that's doing the DJ parties.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not about to sit there and watch that shit. A rack of niggas was watching this nigga spin records.
DJ D Nice,
Staring at
right?
this nigga,
Yeah,
I don't know
DJ
who the
D
fuck
Nice,
his
but,
name
but
was.
you know, even about that, right? You got to think about how many DJs there are. Just, Not even in the world, just here,
Yeah,
right?
right.
DMV. But he was the one person that jumped out there first. That was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something. And now you see every other DJ
They trying
doing
to do
it.
this
But
shit.
you know what? Before I even saw him, we in the DMV. You gotta give props to the go-go bands.
Yeah, the
'Cause
go-go bands
Backyard
was doing
jumped
that
out
shit.
there, and who
Yeah.
was next? I think UCB,
UCB did some shit.
They was
Everybody.
doing it. You know,
Yeah.
they was doing numbers. So, and niggas was lit. Like everybody was looking at it. You could see everybody in the live. You could see the comments was lit. Like that was the best
I
part.
mean, there's
about
nothing
it.
else to do.
It's
I mean,
nothing.
for you creeps out there, you can see all the women working out.
Oh
They,
yeah.
Doing their
they
home
taking over
workouts.
Instagram.
Dog, everybody's
life, man.
posting
Creep life.
everything.
Yeah.
You got the challenges and all
Challenges.
that shit. And
Getting a real look at people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Real. No, you know what you getting a real look at? People's houses.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because all the people you thought was bougie, man, you look at that background. Nah. Where's that same energy at? Your house is fucking trash. Fucking trash.
They ain't called Mount Morgan. They ain't
what?
doing nothing.
Like, hey, I told y'all,
Mount
man.
Morgan.
My man Shaw here in the building again. I'm seeing these TVs, man. That's my
Get
pet
these
peeve,
shits
man. I
off
hate to
these
see
things.
TVs mounted with the wire showing. Call my man Mountain for Shaw, man. I mean, I
Mountain
said
for
Mountain for
Shaw.
Shaw. Mountain for Morgan. My bad.
on
My
Instagram,
bad.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, so niggas is getting creative.
Yeah, that's what it's about, though.
Nigga Boosie, shout out to
Oh,
Boosie.
yeah,
my
yeah.
God. My
He
man
got $1,000.
Man.
Hey, Boosie, don't be bullshit.
$1,000. Put your pussy on live. Give you $1,000. Put your pussy on live. I give you $1,000.
What was it? What was it?
Why
Titty
you do that?
Tuesday?
Oh, it's so
yeah.
good.
He been practicing.
Hey, $1,000. Nigga say, this this for soldiers. No, what do you say? This a schmurder.
Yeah, C murder.
C murder,
What he
yeah.
told him? Show your titties for
Yeah,
C
show
murder,
your titties
bitch.
for C murder, bitch.
Show your titties for C fucking murder. Nigga was
Yeah.
livid. He was
like,
mad as
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Oh God, look
I
at
don't
them
know,
titties.
man. He's a wild dude, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a real wild dude, but it's entertaining. You know
I
what I'm saying?
mean-
I just don't want my man to get banned. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
he's en route.
Oh, he's
That's
en route to
exactly
getting
where the
banned.
fuck he's headed.
I
so.
think they warned him. At least they ain't just banned him off break. I think they gave him a
Probably
warning.
warned,
That's why he
yeah.
kind of he went down from what is it, quarantine, titty
I mean, he,
time or
he,
some
he
shit.
didn't go down.
went
He
to-
had joints eating each other.
Oh
out.
yeah, man. I was like, damn.
yeah.
I think after that's when they warned him, and then today was like quarantine toe day or some shit.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
just had
Shaq
motherfucker-
on there.
yeah, Shaq getting pulled up, man. Shaq feet is fucked up. Like, god damn. But nah, man, it's just
Yeah,
some-
his live is in it. People's live be entertaining.
yeah,
You
I
know.
even went live, man. Shit, we was over here.
Oh, yeah.
man. Sunday we,
I didn't even know
we
you
was
went
practicing
live, man.
social distancing, man. But we went live. Shit was it was
Pod
alright.
Bros had a cookout.
Hey,
had
we-
to find out on Instagram.
Nigga said he hit us in the DM. Damn, niggas having cookouts and
Yeah,
shit.
dog was mad as a motherfucker, dog.
Damn.
Nigga, everybody pulled up. Niggas having fun and shit. I'm in the crib, just I think I was watching wrestling, bro.
Eating
nigga.
chicken.
We said what?
Watching wrestling, nigga.
Which wrestling? Like what?
I got the app.
WWE.
No, you know wrestling's fake. I think I found out
At
wrestling
one
was
point
fake.
in life, I thought it was real.
Me
nigga.
too. Oh, nigga, I was.
I
hold up.
definitely thought
No, but hold
it
up.
started being fake after NWO.
But
Like
hold
before
on,
then, we were
hold
good.
on. The
Was
storyline.
Stone Cold after NWO?
Nah, they was Stone.
Nah, he was
before.
like
During,
during,
yeah,
but it
'cause
was
I
different
remember-
channels.
Yeah, because I remember NWO came
Hey.
to WWF.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
Because at some
After
point
that, I
they changed it
was
to WWE, and that shit.
Yeah.
That's when.
That's
it,
when I
Remember
stopped
they had
watching
the
sort of.
WWE?
So,
It was
yeah,
like
so
some
I think
pandas.
WWF bought WWE.
No, you know what happened?
WWE.
No, you know what happened?
WWE bought WCW.
No, yeah, that
WCW.
too.
Then
But
they bought
you know they
ECW.
changed
I
the
didn't know
name
they
from WWF to WWE because the WWF they got sued by the World
Yeah, the
Wildlife
panda or some shit.
Federation.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
the
why they
panda
changed it.
jump.
I didn't know that.
Real
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Real shit. But hey, it's as much as you want to say that shit is fake, nigga, that shit is real.
That shit
You
is
still gotta you still gotta jump from the top
Yeah, you
rope
still-
onto a nigga. You
Nah,
gotta
but
let
niggas
niggas
jumping
kick-
from the
Nah.
the
If you look
cages onto
now,
a
like I
fucking
didn't see this
table
before,
like
but
this.
if you look now, you see them doing like lip counts, like 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
And like,
Yeah.
what you trying?
Hey,
Like,
dog,
but
I'm
a
still
chair
not getting
still gets
clotheslined, but
smacked
I'm
across
a
that
warrior.
That
nigga.
I don't understand. Like, how can you get smacked in the back with a chair and just be?
But why you
continue to
watching
match
wrestling,
one
though?
moment? Yeah,
Dog.
Back to that
that's
question.
why.
Yeah, why-
Because it wasn't nothing on TV.
But you watching like
old
old
wrestling.
Yeah, the old
Okay,
joint.
you're
Yeah,
okay
yeah,
for
yeah.
that. If you
The
watching
app-
these
the
like
app
new
has
dudes.
everything.
So who's your favorite wrestler?
Everything. All time.
Stone Cold. Man.
Undertaker.
Stone Cold.
Cold.
I'm an Undertaker dude, man.
I'm a Sting guy.
Sting.
I respect
Sting.
Sting because he had the bat. I respect him with the
understand.
bat when he had the
Ultimate
bat.
Warrior,
the
man.
trench.
Ultimate
Ultimate
Warrior.
Warrior. I get
That
that.
nigga was just crazy.
Yeah, he was
I get
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
I get
He's
that.
crazy.
Niggas went from Instagram to wrestling. Like,
Hey, real
But that's
nigga
the-
shit,
that's the
man.
times
Everybody
we
watch
in.
wrestling.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
had
time.
to.
That's
They
the
had
times
to.
we in though, because it's like it's nothing to do. Like so,
But-
you just in the house finding shit to do.
Yeah, right. And that's
Finding
exactly
shit to
what it is.
binge
Just
watch.
because it wasn't shit else to do. But
Right.
even like getting back to the creative shit, I was telling them right before the show, I guess some dude at the ooh, did we bring up the DJ? The nigga,
Yeah,
the
DJ
DJ
Night,
nigga.
yeah.
So I guess it was some old nigga. He I guess he was creeping because clearly you didn't see nobody at the party, but he DM'd a broad. Was like, a woman, and was like, what did he do? He said, yeah, I seen you at the party last night, but there was a lot of people in between us or something. I couldn't get over there. And she played along with it. Was like, yeah, it was really
Yo,
hot.
I just got confused. Wait. We're talking about a digital virtual party.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was, he was acting like it was actually a party.
Like he was really at a
Yeah.
party. Because that's what everybody said. It felt like they was really there.
Yeah, that's smooth.
Whatever.
Okay.
Right. That's some player shit.
Right.
So you got that's
There was a
respect.
lot of people in between.
Right,
You know,
yeah, I
I can't.
couldn't get
That's
to
what
you.
you know
They
what?
made up a whole scenario.
Yeah, I was trying to tap
you
you
know
on your
what?
shoulder for
Yeah,
somebody.
Slim. That's real shit.
I respect that.
I can feel him though because pause. We was on the FaceTime, not just me and Mel, but all of it. It was like 10, 12 of us
Yeah.
on FaceTime. We drink. Now I was fried in the house.
That was a
like,
good
fuck,
time.
I woke up the next morning fucked up like I was at
Like
a
you were
lounge or
somewhere.
something. Like I was on
Yeah,
Hooper
yeah,
Road,
yeah.
nigga. Like nigga, that shit was fun. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I mean, niggas just making the best out of a bad situation.
So again, this is the third time I try to finish this shit.
Cut you
Nigga,
off.
but
and
yeah,
shit.
it's all good. But nah, so she played along with it, whoop de whoop. So he ended the jump was like, yeah, so something about let's do lunch. He said, I'm a little hungover from last night. I'm gonna take a nap. Maybe we can get up and do lunch. She was like, cool, or whatever. So now, what I'm seeing or hearing and shit is that like now women during this shit are now telling niggas let's do virtual dates. and shit like through FaceTime.
So would you do a virtual date?
No.
Doesn't depend.
No. I'm not trying to be on FaceTime with nobody for fucking like a long period of time. Especially not one person. Like when y'all did the shit the other night, all right, 30 motherfuckers drinking and cracking jokes and shit, that's one thing. But you and another motherfucker watching like TV together. Like what the fuck is the point? You know, like come on, man.
The point is getting the pussy when the quarantine is over.
Touche.
If that's possible, nigga.
I mean,
Niggas at home got nothing
the
to
hoops, the hoops you got to go through. I'm not
But
about to do that shit, dog.
so,
No way.
since
But
he
say it's a
brought it
bad
up,
joint.
Jay,
Say-
I like his energy right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought he was gonna come on. I know he's a mogul, so I thought he was gonna come on and be. I like his energy.
threw me off with
So
that
I'm gonna feed off that. So before all this Corona shit, before y'all met y'all significant others, you know what I'm saying? Was FaceTime out when y'all met y'all?
Fuck
significant
no,
Nigga,
Facebook
nah.
wasn't out.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all
Fuck
deep.
no.
But y'all.
So
I
Facebook
don't even wanna get
came
nobody in
out
trouble.
a year before. Nah, we grown. Facebook came out a year before me and Casey met. So
Okay.
all right, so
You said
go ask your
Facebook?
Facebook, nigga. Yeah. So
That's like 05.
Nigga been
Yeah.
done
So they
for
been- yeah.
years.
that was my
Damn.
it was my freshman year. Freshman
15 years.
Yeah, freshman year, second semester. Facebook came out, and me and Casey
You know what to the
was talking
semester.
after that. Yeah, because I remember when niggas disappeared from the yard. I'm like, where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah,
at?
you had to
went
have
on
like a
Facebook.
college
Yeah.
email.
And so I went to Smith, so they was the only like black college that gave laptops to everybody. So niggas just disappeared the second semester. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I went by my man room. He like, dog, look at this shit called Facebook. All the bitches on here. I'm like,
So that's where they at in the house.
So after that, my ass was
Well,
in the
you gotta
dorm
sit
too.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
all
right
right.
here.
So preface your question. However you want.
Nah,
But
I was just saying because what Kyle was talking about with the virtual date.
Kyle smack. If there's a bad joint on there,
That's why
if
I said
see-
it
That's what,
depends.
if I
but no,
see-
but see, go go.
Nah, if there's a bad joint on there, I'm talking about bad. You can go click through a profile and all that, and all you got to do is fake imaginary, have a date, and I can be sitting on my couch not really talking to you while the shit is just recording.
Kyle will be
Nigga.
He gonna text me like, yeah, I just had a virtual date. It was cool.
yeah, you ain't even got to
ain't
spend
spend
no
no
money.
You don't got to spend no
No
money. You're
money.
smack.
See the way he phrased it, it made it seem like you have to do it. Okay, maybe I would.
Dog,
You can eat your applesauce in peace.
all,
Yeah.
all y'all single brothers, you better virtual date your ass off
Man,
right
what?
now. Like,
If you gonna
no,
do
I
that
asked
smooth
that
shit that old
question.
nigga did, yeah, all right. But,
But no,
man,
I
just
asked that question because motherfuckers be out here FaceTime. What's that? I guess phone. It's not phone sex. It's FaceTime sexing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You-
better
okay.
than phone sex. You
Yeah,
can
I
smack
mean,
that
I
shit.
guess you don't even. I mean, you can do that. Y'all be out of town with your
FaceTime
girl. Y'all ain't never FaceTime.
Sex?
I can't even. I don't know if it's a term for it, but
Well, hold on,
I
what the
know
fuck
it
is it?
exists.
So it's
When
so
you
instead
on
of the
FaceTime
phone
with
sex,
your-
you can
you're not on the phone.
It's the FaceTime.
Yeah, it's
sex.
the FaceTime.
the
You can see
FaceTime.
her.
beating off
You
while
might.
she's-
You
That's
might
what,
be.
that's what
whatever
phone sex
you
is,
into,
bro,
yeah,
man.
whatever
But at
you
least you
do.
get to see the pussy.
Yeah, she
Aw,
might
man.
be doing her. You
Am I
doing
allowed to say
you.
pussy? I'm sorry for saying
Yeah,
pussy,
no,
lady.
man.
Nah,
No,
man,
no,
it's
nigga
NHF,
ain't
man.
facts.
Niggas ain't facts.
It's the fact that that's what it is. Go for
Yeah,
it.
so I mean, if you gonna have phone sex, like FaceTime sex, 100 times.
Yeah,
better.
that's better. You can see it. You know
can
what I'm
see
saying?
it.
Hey, dog.
I was late to the game on that, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, that's
FaceTime
all right.
sex.
So
Yeah, you
this
know.
whole virtual distancing,
Kyle,
it kind of time.
I'm over here thinking about
Yeah, he
it.
like damn,
Like,
he like
yeah.
damn. I've been missing out.
Nah, man. Just,
Dog.
It's a thing. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a thing.
Yup, no more X videos. You could just
Yeah, you can go right.
go right to FaceTime.
Yeah, get your joint up. Like, what you got on? Oh, I ain't got on nothing. Whip out on it. Bow. Hey, bow. Bow. You know
damn,
what I'm saying?
Slim.
But
I don't know.
you been missing out, man. But yeah,
But niggas, hey, niggas
get
getting
creative
even
in
more
these
creative.
times.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
to say
get
that
creative in these
tends
times,
into
yeah.
what I was saying. Like, niggas is getting creative. I guess I was saying I thought niggas was getting. I don't know. I'm at work, but from what I hear, I guess niggas ain't being that. Your regular niggas ain't being that creative or productive because everybody complaining they bored. Niggas
They
ain't
definitely
doing
not
shit.
putting in no time.
Yeah.
Dog. I don't know. I don't know how y'all do it, but
So that's what I'm saying. Like, even the people that are creative that we see, like, putting themselves out there doing stuff, like, still doing the podcast. Like, the women that are doing the workouts, the DJs that are DJing now, that is a small percentage of social media.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's the other 98% of niggas is just, like,
On social media watching.
watching on the couch, eating cookies. Like, I mean,
yeah, not doing shit.
yeah. So it's a small percentage, but yeah.
But so I'm glad you brought that up. So pretty much, I mean, with all that's going on, first I want you to talk about what you do, talk about your book, and we'll go go from there. But
Quick synopsis. I, own rental properties. I actually wrote a book about my process to get to this point, and not like from a specialist standpoint, but from everything I knew. I mean, everything I went through to get to this point. Right. So like the book starts off when I was 13 and we lost our house, got foreclosed on, me, my mom. It just kind of goes into the lessons I learned along the way, because like real estate is cold, man. People don't really want to teach you nothing. They don't want to help you. A lot of people feel like if they help you, it's gonna like hinder them in some type of way. So everything I learned myself. Even fixing my credit, that's in there. Fixing my credit, learn how to allot and save money, like all that type of stuff.
You gotta research to better yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So I figure if I could like kind of just sum all this up into a easy read, a quick book, like it would help a bunch of people. Cause like, oh damn, I don't got to go to 10 different sites, read 10 different books. I can just read this and understand what I have to do. So that was the whole point of the book.
How long it take you to? I know it's starting 13, but how long it take you to write the book?
I wrote the book in a month and a half. So so I came.
Kyle, no excuses, Kyle.
No
excuses,
So, but it wasn't like I'm gonna write this book. Like I went to Atlanta to visit my homie who's down there. He wrote a book as well, and we were just talking, having fun and everything. And like the last day, if you've ever been somewhere and you've been inspired, you be like, I gotta get my shit together. Like, I gotta get my shit together. Like I'm missing my moment. I'm missing time. So as soon as I got home, I just kind of started writing. I didn't know what I was writing. I ended up writing that introduction, which is kind of like my quick story of like what inspired me to want to own shit. And then that turned into the whole book. Just like, damn, if I could help somebody with this, if I could help somebody with this. So that ended up being the whole book. So it was a month and a half. It was like writing while I'm in my car, like writing while I take Zoe to practice. I would have my laptop in the car while she's at practice, like all that. So it was just trying to get it done.
Did you work with like writers? Or
nah, wrote it all myself. I hired an editor.
Okay,
she's actually right here in DC. Her name is Charmin. She's great. And I mean, I did everything myself. I paid for the book to be published. It's published under Black Doors, which is the whole company just set up to help us like understand what we need to do to build wealth through real estate. I just kind of did everything. I believe in doing stuff myself anyway. I think investment in yourself is the best investment you can make.
This nigga independent.
I really like your cover
Break it
art,
down for
man.
niggas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice
I
cover.
drew
No
that.
record
I drew
label.
that.
You did
Yeah, I drew
that?
that. I sat at the table, drew it all out. Like everything is a chapter from
The
the
nigga
story
draws
too.
too.
Nigga draws too.
nigga draws. Niggas be drawn. MBD. Niggas be drawn, man.
So
That
it
was
was just
gay.
trying to help as many people as possible.
I let him go with that.
I was gonna get myself. I'm not even gonna get myself with that. man.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
But anyway.
He's the second 2 weeks in a row, man.
Hey man, it's blame the Henny, man. It was the last
Definitely
episode.
fried now.
Blame the Henny. But,
But yeah, man. So
What
go ahead.
properties do you like? Homes, buildings, or
So I can just tell you this right now. Like I own duplex and single family properties, row houses. My goal this year, by the end of this year, is to get a 12-unit apartment complex.
I saw that on your page.
So I tell everybody that's my goal. So like niggas can hold me accountable, remind me like, what's up? Like,
Right.
Yeah,
so
right.
that's the goal by the end of the year. But eventually I want to move into, I want to get a self-storage facility.
Okay.
A mobile home park, because they're not making any more of those.
They not?
No, hell no. They stopped
damn.
making
it's
those.
one
Like,
down the street, man.
I know.
Yeah, it
but
is.
anything here, anything in our area is going to be high. Like you just got to
Yeah.
kind of be comfortable going other places to get stuff. Like I can't get a 12-unit apartment here. That
Yeah,
shit's
that's
going
what
to be
I
$1
was
million.
asking. I was about to ask what
Yeah.
area.
You got to either go south, you got to go Midwest, like something like that. But you know,
met
you
a,
gotta go shop
I met
around.
somebody
you got
at
to
your.
shop around like shit.
I met somebody at your. Was it your? Who was at the whose party was it last? Your party or Vaughn joint when we was on the rooftop joint? It was Vaughn party,
Vaughn
right?
joint, yeah.
I met somebody. I think one of your coworkers or Vaughn's coworkers. They was talking
Oh, yeah,
about
Vaughn
getting.
coworker, yeah.
I think he was talking about getting a 12-unit
Yeah,
building, but he
he
was talking
got
about
one.
down there in where's that
Charlottesville.
No, Hanover. No, where's the outlets? Hagerstown.
Hagerstown. So here's Hagerstown is dope. Like I looked at Hagerstown for a long time too. Hagerstown, West Virginia, like that area is dope, but they're kind of creeping up price wise too,
really?
and the rents aren't going up. you know, as much as the
actual
property
property.
value.
They see y'all coming trying to buy.
Right.
Yeah,
So they
they got
kind of
hip.
picking up on game, and who knows with like what's going on right now with Corona, with recession around the
Right.
corner, what's going to happen. But I mean, if we ready, hopefully this book can get people ready. Opportunities.
Is that slowing you down at all?
That's what
the
that
virus.
was another reason.
No,
Okay.
I'm good. I've
No excuses, y'all.
No, I'm not saying I'm good, but like you know, every property, everything you do that brings in money is a revenue stream. If you got a 9 to 5, that's a revenue stream. The book is a revenue stream. The unit's revenue streams.
Right.
So if you got enough, you can
Yeah.
ride the wave.
Now, in this, like I heard that interest rates now are like damn near at 0%. So it's more so. Would you consider? I think it's more so a buyer's market not as far as like investing, trying to get an investment property, but actually like to buy if somebody's trying to buy a home for themselves.
So
I think it would be better.
It
This
is
the best
it
time
is
to do
still.
that.
I would say it's still a seller's market just for the simple fact that prices are so high and values are so high. When it becomes a buyer's market, like the prices are going to go down because stuff is inflated right now.
Yeah.
Like it's no reason
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a 1,200 a square foot house to be $1 million.
Right.
Like when prices come back down to earth a little bit, interest rates are still going to be low. Like go crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I was still skeptical on like if you should buy now because you might like even though like you said interest rates.
Oh, I
close to
would always say
0%.
still buy. Like, I mean, if you have an opportunity to buy something and you can benefit from it, you should always buy.
But what do you think about like for instance, interest rates maybe 0%. You might get a house for the low. You might say it's a $300,000 house, but with the way the market is going, that $300,000 house might end up being $200,000. So you got a cheap ass house, cheap ass mortgage, but you losing $100K.
So here's the thing, and yeah, that's a big issue, and that set black people back in general during the recession. You know, because we basically had loans on inflated valued properties, and as soon as the market crashed, black people was the ones that was hit, and then we basically ended up losing a lot of properties because of that, foreclosed and everything. So that is a scary issue. So like the house I'm in right now, it just we refinanced not too long ago. It appraised for $510, right? I bought that house for $360. So even if I lose 20% of the value during this recession, I'm still at what, like $408, $410. Right. I'm still skating out of there. Like, you know, so you got to be wise with what you're investing in. You got to make sure you're not buying, you know, at market rate, and you're actually buying at investor rate, even when you buy your own home. Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
So you say your bank account. What'd you say? Your first home is your bank account.
Absolutely.
So how would you describe that?
First home, me and Casey bought, it was $167,000. And that house today is valued at $338,000.
Okay.
That means we have over what?
50?
Yeah, in equity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we tap some of that equity to buy some of the
Buy
property.
something else.
Yeah.
So, and we still have equity in there. Like even if we use 100,000 of that puts us
still
at
got it.
267.
got
We can still sell that house right now and walk away with money.
Damn.
So when your house is your first bank account, that's literally like if you buy right, like you can live off that house. That house is your wealth. And even if we never touched it.
Right. Damn. You're still sitting on something you leave generational wealth to talk about, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Damn. Yeah, that's a beautiful situation.
Yeah, and see that was my issue.
Makes
Like
sense.
my first house I bought, I was young and I bought wrong. Like I went for the flashy new, everything was brand new. From
Most
the
of
ground
us do,
up.
so you're not
Built-in
alone.
house.
So
It was a
I
nice
probably
home.
lost like 80 to 100,000.
Yeah.
Just all in like 2-3 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because around the same time the recession
That's when it hit.
last time. So it's like you just
So let me
gotta
ask you
buy
this
smart.
though. Let me ask you this. If you even know, like what is that house worth today?
But see now it's back up. I looked.
So
It's
the
back
good
up.
thing about real estate is if you can hold on to a bad
Yeah.
investment, it's still not a bad investment because
Right.
it'll eventually
It'll
become a
turn.
good investment.
Yeah.
As long as markets eventually come back and
They put a
and
train station around you.
man, I'm
But
telling you.
see,
Some grocery
but that's
store.
where mine was. Everything, all that you
Yeah.
was there. Train station, literally 5 feet
Walk.
away.
Yeah, but you walk that
But it's just, I guess
It was
the
the timing. Yeah,
the
it was the
timing
timing.
was bad. You know
And
what
see,
I'm saying?
so the other thing is like economically, like black people in general. I hate to like generalize, but like
No.
it's hard for us to maintain on our own.
Yeah.
Like other cultures, white people don't have to maintain on their own.
They got
like
family help.
they got family help. Like they literally have trust. They have
Yeah.
trust funds. So like if something goes wrong for them, they can ride that valley until it's back up at a peak, and then they can benefit.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know,
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would. It's tough. It's the whole because we don't like you said. Everything I wish I knew was the title of your book. And you said a lot of stuff you learn is pretty much on your own. We don't.
Yeah.
But you had to learn it on your
our
own.
generation will be the
yeah.
first to teach.
Yeah.
Bro.
I think so. I really think we are. I think we're the first generation that has experienced it, that knows enough about it, and we're not shy about speaking about it.
Right.
Because like even my father, like there's stuff my father knew that he didn't really tell me, and I wonder why. But he's one of those people like he wants you to go through it on your own.
Yeah.
I think we got to change that.
We got to stop that.
Yeah, because I see you talk like you mentioned again. You mentioned your daughter. You share your.
Oh yeah,
information
she
with your daughter.
goes on all the real estate runs with. She hates it too. I be like, get that bro. She like, oh my god, dad. She wants to shoot musically, but but if I teach her this now, that way she'll teach the other two.
Exactly.
So I was watching a Young Dolph interview. It was a while ago, and he said, he was raised that basically he got two other siblings. So if he got $1 million, he don't really got $1 million. He's breaking that down. So they all got So I was like, that's how my kids need to be.
Yeah, and he's supposed to drop some music too.
Hey, I'm waiting on Dog, man. He's talking about
he ain't dropped. I thought he didn't drop.
He ain't drop.
I thought they was like, I thought he was like. I guess it didn't come out at 12. I'm thinking it was gonna come out a few hours later. He still ain't dropped.
He on nigga time, man.
Damn, he may have even made an announcement saying like, "Yeah, give me a couple hours."
Yeah. That's why I thought he
Yeah,
dropped.
dang, he still ain't dropped. That's 2 days ago, champ.
Yeah, but I thought that was really good though. You showing your daughter and stuff because my parents didn't speak on money or
Nobody
investing in my house.
like I never learned. Like I said, I kind of learned on my own. But the funny thing is, me like I learned just because. Some dumb shit like he in PG County. I don't know. I mean, we all pretty much around the same age, but it's just like when I bought like this was like I started looking in like 2008. And the only reason I wanted to buy a house is because I wanted something with a garage so my car would stop getting broken into. Yeah, and that's
sense.
a dumbass reason, but that's the only reason because I made too much to rent one of these. It was like certain apartments you had
that have the garages on the house.
Yeah, but those was income restricted, and I made too much for those. And then the ones I could afford, it was like, damn, they fucking mortgage prices or more than mortgage. Right. So it's like I just started from that process to go ahead and buy. Like my aunt, I didn't even have outside of cars. I didn't really have. I didn't have credit cards. I didn't have anything but a car note. And, I just had to build my credit. And I just went through the whole process of just building my credit.
So here's the bullshit,
to buy a joint.
White people don't have to build their credit. Their parents build their credit.
Yeah, they get that money from their parents. Yeah. 30,000. Okay, I get that to you.
Yeah, like they so again, like we got to be the first generation that fixes that. Like somebody could have told you, like, yeah, you can get a house with a garage, but it's going to be this amount, and this is what's going to happen in the future. Like you shouldn't have had to figure that out, And we got to be the last generation that does that.
But I will tell you this because, like I said, my aunt was my realtor, but she was trying to show me shit that I would walk into with equity, but me being young, I could afford this.
A new build up.
It's a new build. I want that from the ground up. Yeah. It ended up biting me in the ass.
It's called the nigga mentality.
Yeah, but you learn from your mistakes. But yeah,
26, nigga.
Yeah, I was like 25, 26. You know what I'm saying? So
and not as smart as 26 either.
Exactly.
Nigga
I
was
wasn't
retarded.
because nobody in my like my father to this day, my father has never owned a house, and he can afford to, but he just doesn't want to.
Nah.
My mother, she owned a house before. This was around the same time I damn near owned a house. So I was never taught.
I talk to people all the time like that too. They're just way more comfortable with renting. I've had a whole conversation with people and they're like, nah, I can just call somebody to fix it.
Yeah.
I can call somebody to do this, do that. But then you're missing out on so many benefits of home ownership and building generational wealth. Because you don't got to be a real estate investor to build generational wealth. You just got to own something.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get out of that, man. I think we're the generation to do it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think like one thing as parents, we gotta stop. Normally like when we was coming up, when you 18, if you ain't in school, you gotta get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
We gotta stop that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right,
because we can't. It's no point in kicking your kid out, letting them go out and get in apartments or
because they're gonna go straight to the trap. They're gonna live right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's me. I move straight to the trap.
Or you're gonna be rushing to try to get something.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a bad investment. I was in the same boat. Like I got out of school and it was basically paying rent.
Yeah,
immediately.
it's like you
$10,
wasting
$12 an
money
hour.
on rent.
Yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
instead of me being able to like make a different decision, I want to work here, work there, go to grad school, do something else. It's like, nah, nigga,
I
you
gotta
got
pay
bills to
rent.
pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but again, like we're wise enough and we've been through enough and we've seen everybody else go through enough that hopefully we can change that shit,
Yeah.
man. Like we have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because my coworker, man, he lived at home until he was 29, you know, but he was making a lot of money.
Right. So you got a chance to
But
stack
see,
up.
other people, they give you time to stack your money. Now, I'm not saying, all right, if your kid, you know, you turn 18, you graduate high school, you're not in school, you don't have a stable job. I'm not saying, you know.
So
let
you
them
saying
stay in
don't
your
don't
house.
do the stepbrothers? Don't.
Yeah, I mean, not, as
40
long-
years
I
old.
just think as long as your kid is not in the house, you know, just playing PlayStation or
Right.
going out smoking, drinking with his
Yeah,
friends,
being
and shit,
productive. Yeah.
you just gotta.
It's
I'm-
case by
I'm talking-
case.
Yeah, it's case by case. I'm just saying, like, if you
Because
know
there's
your
definitely some
kid-
people that need to get
I
kicked
think,
the fuck
but it
out.
comes from the parents too. Like you said, we're the first generation to kind of teach our kids that, you know, we got to teach our kids home ownership. Like you said, you're already teaching your daughter. We teach our kids home ownership, teaching about the taxes, you know, just teaching them about, you know, entrepreneurship. It's just a lot of shit that we weren't taught. Like we were taught, go to college, get a good job, work for the government, you know, in
But do
DC,
you-
work for the government, some shit like that.
Do you think like now, even like niggas our age, like I don't know about y'all parents. Well, yeah, I don't. But like we make probably more than what our parents was making at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So like when people like even with the conversation y'all saying like it's like even with the book title, everything I wish I knew, like I don't want to seem like the parents
'Cause they didn't
were the
know
blame.
either.
Right.
Yeah, they
Them
didn't
niggas
know.
ain't
Oh yeah,
either.
no.
Right.
That's,
So,
that's what I'm saying.
but again,
We weren't
even
taught
being a
because-
parent, right? Like our parents couldn't teach us something that their parents didn't teach them.
Facts.
Right. So
Okay.
it's a vicious cycle, and it's not to point blame at anybody, but it's to learn from what we didn't know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm not blaming my parents. I'm just saying we didn't.
No, I know.
They
I know
didn't
you
know,
did-
so
yeah,
we
that
didn't
wasn't what
know.
y'all was doing.
Yeah, like I
But
even
now
put that.
listen,
I even
that's
put that in the
damn.
book. Like the thing I learned about money was sitting with my grandma at the table, and it was paying bills. That's it. That's where you go. You pay your bills on time. You don't do nothing else.
Balance that checkbook.
Yeah, balance that checkbook. It wasn't like, hey, you put this away. It was like, nigga, pay these bills. So
I
yeah.
call my dad. He still balances his checkbook.
Hey, that balance it is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my folks used to do that
But
shit.
no, we
too.
were kind of talking about it before we started rolling. But what you said, we were talking about gentrification. You said it's a mixed bag. Go ahead. I want you to elaborate on that.
Well, gentrification in general, not like I'm a professor or nothing, but gentrification
Shit, on this set
in
you are.
general.
On this set you are.
Gentrification is basically when like new money comes into a neglected neighborhood, right?
Right.
There's a whole bunch of reasons, socioeconomic, why neighborhoods are neglected, right? You look at the crack era, like they didn't save the community. They stopped putting money in the community. So shit just got tore down and tore down worse, right? So when they change laws or whatever and make it rewarding for a developer or a company to invest in that community, right? They put money into the community. Maybe they build a complex, a condominium with a Wegmans in it. That immediately makes the property values go up. When the property values go up, the rents go up. Then the original people that was there can't afford to live in that community no more. So who can afford it? The developers come in, the investors come in, they buy those properties for nothing, pennies on the dollar, and triple their money,
Yeah.
right? And who can afford to buy those? Not the people that was there.
people that
So
was-
the
they was
people that are
barely
there
surviving anyway.
in general, and I hate to generalize, is the white people coming in that have the benefit of parents that help them build credit and build savings and trust funds, and they buy these properties. And the more they buy, the more the property value goes up, the more rents go up, the less that we can afford to be there.
Yeah.
And that is gentrification in a bubble,
Right.
right?
They move in PG County.
And they move in PG
Yeah.
County, they go to Waldorf. Like,
yeah.
so I mean, it's and like what you were saying about, you know, if they own those homes, if they own those businesses, yeah, I agree. Like you know, we definitely should have owned those homes and owned those businesses. But there's a thing called redlining too, where banks wouldn't lend to black people that were
Right.
trying to buy the buildings that they were in. They just wouldn't do it.
Right.
Right.
You know, and they have all these laws to help out now, but that doesn't fix the problem that has been happening for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
So do white neighborhoods ever get gentrified?
Yeah, it's called white flight. That's when black
flight.
people move there and they move the fuck.
They move away. Right.
So it's a cycle for real.
Yeah, it is.
And they got a term for that shit.
It's
white
white
flight.
flight. It's called
No,
white
it
flight.
is.
So
It is.
really,
'Cause
so you look
that's
at
Bowie.
Bowie. You look at
Bowie.
Bowie,
It's
right?
Bowie, yeah.
So the white people was there originally.
Yeah.
Then
Niggas
black people
came
came, and
and they
niggas
rolled
just
out.
went further and further. Or you can look at
Packed our bags and got the fuck out of there.
Cal said we.
You said we.
We got the fuck up out of there.
Yeah, because my
So,
uncle was the only black dude on his street, like in 2000, 2001. Now,
Wow, Bowie.
so so
Yeah,
black,
so
so
it's
black.
all niggas,
Yeah,
That's
man.
how shit. That's where I moved from. That's
So
where I
it was
moved.
white
So
flight.
imagine this, right? This is how it happens. Like it's in cycles, right? Say Bowie becomes predominantly black, right? The neighborhood gets bad. Windows start getting broken. Crime goes up. They stop investing in those schools.
Right,
They
yeah.
invest in
Go
those
somewhere
schools
else,
further
yeah.
out, right? 20 years from now, Bowie, I hate to say Bowie be the hood. White people come move back, raise property values, raise rents, and niggas gotta go somewhere else. It's literally a cycle.
But see, why is that though? Like, okay, for instance, like PG County right now, the richest. We said it. I forgot which episode, but we said it's
Richest black county.
richest black county in America.
Right.
Why are the schools so bad? And
that's a
but
good
we thrive in sports. Like we put people in NBA, NFL every year, top draft picks.
I don't think it's one answer for that question or gentrification as a whole. Like it has a lot to do with voting. It has a lot to do with who's voted in and what their priorities are. Maybe their priorities ain't
Not
helping black
education,
schools. They're
right.
helping charter schools or white schools.
Yeah.
Or maybe they want to put money just elsewhere in infrastructure. I mean, not you can go deep with it, but it's like it's a mixed bag. That's what I'm saying.
Because I know like a lot of people in the know, like, you know, who we've grown up in PG County. I think all of us pretty much grew up in.
I'm VA.
Oh,
but-
you VA? Oh, okay. But PG County, I mean, for the most part, it's just like the schools that just went to shit. But it just doesn't make sense to me because, like I said, with so
Richest
much
black
money in this
county.
county,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
They
you
go
got
to
like
private
counties like,
schools and
but you
stuff,
got
though.
And again, if that's where attention goes to
bad.
these private schools or these charter schools, they're like, fuck the public schools. The
Right.
black people go there.
yeah, because a lot
they
of, you know,
trying to hold us back in.
yeah, because most of the star athletes they come from out of the like you said,
The Christian
WCAC,
schools and the Catholics,
the
yeah,
Catholic
right.
school
Yeah.
league. But it's just like it's just I don't know. Man.
Yeah, it's messed up. Like it's not one solid answer to it, man. I just think a good start of a solution is for every black person that can to buy and own their own home.
Yeah.
And then we have ownership in those communities. We try to keep them up as best we can. Like we vote when we got to vote locally for the people that represent us, and not
Yeah.
motherfuckers just trying to change districts or zones and keep all the black people right here and make all this for the white people. And they put the investment in this area and it's fuck them. Like it's a lot of stuff that we can do as homeowners. You know what I'm saying? So
What about like the Spanish areas in PG County? Or you think they're gonna gentrify those soon? Because it's like
Yeah, 'cause
that's been the
certain
same way
areas-
all
Damn,
my
they,
life.
they gentrifying PG County?
Eventually,
so
Nah, it's in certain areas.
So
you got a lot of-
gentrification, it's not really about people. It's about
Yeah.
money. It's wherever these developers and big companies can make money.
Right.
So they can make money in Spanish Harlem. Like,
Yeah,
that's
they
what
gonna
they're
make
going
money
to do.
in Spanish. Yeah.
Damn.
That's what it is.
But no, I bought the whole topic of this. It made me think of the whole Horace and Dickies situation. And for our out of town listeners, Horace and Dickies is like a staple, carry out in the DC. Well, it's in DC. They have different locations, but the main one was right there off of 8th Street. And pretty much the owner, after like 30 years of business, was pretty much forced out of the spot that he was renting. And my whole argument, and a lot of people probably won't like this, I kind of blame that on the owner. And the reason I blame it on him is because at some point in those 30 years, like the area that store was in was like ran down. It was just infested with crime, drugs, all that. So I'm thinking, and I know the lady who lives 2 doors down from Horace and Dickies, and she told me she bought her house for $25,000 in 2001. So we're talking 19 years ago. And like I said, this business they've been in business for 30 years. She bought her house for $25,000, put $15,000 into it, and now today it's worth like $800. But my thing is, Horace and Dickies is pretty much a shack. Like at some point, I know that spot was dirt cheap. I think they should have tried to buy that. And if they did try to buy that, because I don't know for sure that they didn't, but if they did try to buy that and the owner wouldn't sell, you know how many 8th Street has just flourished in the last 10 years or whatever. I'm pretty sure somewhere else on 8th Street they could have went and bought a spot and they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in today. And it's not even like they're in dire straits because they have other locations
like food
already.
truck and stuff like
but
that.
that's the original location, and the owner he's blaming it on gentrification. And I just don't think in this situation you can blame that on gentrification. I think you got to kind of take the blame, unless, because I don't know for sure, unless you were trying to buy that spot and you couldn't, the owner wouldn't sell it. But like I say, even in that situation, I think you should have just took your business elsewhere. You know what I mean? But
The only, and it's not an argument. The only thing I will say, like when it comes to black businesses, right? Their shit has to be perfect in order to get loans. Just
They can't
because
have
like
no
the
red
standards are
lines.
so high for black businesses specifically. So I don't disagree. Like if you got a chance to own your own building that you're operating in, you do it. But the standards are just so high for black business.
But 25,000 in 2001.
Right,
You've been
that's a
open
come
for
up.
10
exactly.
plus
And
years.
the only reason I think
That's negligence.
And
You
it's
know what
not
I'm saying?
even
You
like, I don't even
dropped
think,
the
because they're
ball.
not like I wouldn't even call them a struggling business because they
But what were they in
before this
2000?
happened. But before this happened, they already had like 2 or 3 other locations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking if you have if you can have 2 to 3 other locations,
Yeah, you should
I'm
be doing
pretty sure
decent.
you had the financial traits to
Yeah, 'cause
buy.
I used to go there quite
the
often.
one.
That line
Yeah.
used to always be
Yeah,
out the door.
it was booming. Like it's always been. I mean, I'm pretty sure business is always is up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to be there for 30 years, at some point, I think you could have bought that joint. Not
know-
recently. I mean, as
Yeah,
of
stuff
now,
went up. But like back
it's
in the
early
day when you
back
had
in
the
the day.
opportunity.
Like I
yeah.
said, this was 2001 that this lady bought her spot. So
Or like you
and they
said,
were there
if you
before
can't
that.
buy that building, go find
Go
a building you
somewhere-
can buy. Yeah, I agree 100%.
And I like to give a shout out to our guys from Nashville because they got a spot called Slim and Huskies. They started in Nashville, Tennessee. They're now in Atlanta, but every spot they're buying now, like they're just buying land and building from the ground up. So now they're the land. Like they bought I forgot. I don't know the exact details of it, but I know they own a whole retail spot. So now not only do they have their Slim and
people.
Huskies pizzeria in it, but they rent out to other people. So they're not going to be in that situation.
I think
But-
that's what
a
McDonald's
little strip
said. Like
mall.
McDonald's wasn't in the burger business; they were in the land business.
yeah.
Like and that's a good mentality to have.
They got all them.
real estate.
Hey, Mel. This nigga think I'm gonna let him get away.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was
the
waiting
show,
for him to
we,
say
we,
who.
we got a little bit of time left, but nigga,
What'd I say?
You said gentrification was black people's fault, nigga.
No,
Speak on it. Speak out.
No, I'm just talking about.
He did say that. Then he said no.
I'm gonna tell you. I didn't say it was.
man.
I did say it was black people's fault.
Definitely
But
said
it's
that
not.
shit
It's
earlier.
not all black people's fault. But you got to think. Okay, so let's
Go for it.
break
Yep.
it down. So from me, like from the trap. I'm talking about from the trap. Like all we used to do is like to hang out in the hall. I mean, hang out in front of buildings. Play. Just doing dumb shit. But like. After you've owned some shit, like your whole mentality changed.
Yeah,
Like
it's yours
I don't
now.
want niggas hanging out in front of my house.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't want
my
niggas
house.
shooting
Right.
dice in front of my house or my
I'll hang
building.
out. I'll do that for somebody else.
Yeah,
Nigga, I'm
you know
renting
what I
from
mean.
another
But
motherfucker.
see,
You
I
do that shit in
think
front of
as
somebody
black
else shit.
people we get kind of complacent because, like, for instance, my mom's cousin, she's my cousin too, but she's my mom's age range. She lived around Paradise, which is the hood, for like 30 years, rent free. She's on Section 8, food stamps. She ain't going nowhere.
We all
Until
got
she
relatives
died.
like that. Yeah.
But I'm saying that we just get complacent, you know what I mean? But as you grow, like as we start to learn more, it's like you gotta want better for yourself, you know what I mean? And it kind of ties into, like I just said, when you own after you own some shit, like the shit that we used to do for fun, just hanging out in front of buildings, like that's not helping, that lowers your fucking property value.
So,
you know what I mean?
Or
Nah,
can
that's-
black people avoid it? Because if you say it's their fault,
No.
that means they can avoid it.
I mean, I'm not saying they can avoid it. I'm just saying you just got to get educated.
Nah, here's the thing.
You got to get educated.
I was trying not to be the bad guy today. I thought this nigga was gonna take over this shit, but
Nah, I'm not the bad guy.
1, Kyle
backpedaling on it.
Rants.
He was clearly
I
outside
backpedaled.
lit. I
I
said,
backpedaled.
bet I ain't even gotta say nothing today. I'm gonna let Doug fuck this up. Nah, okay. Nigga, can you blame white people for coming in and buying this shit?
No, that's my
No,
argument.
you wouldn't say it. You wouldn't say it, nigga. So
but you know-
that's real shit. Like,
That's
nigga,
my
can
argument.
we blame them from coming in and seeing somewhere where they can make money?
But
And-
like,
and-
like
and
you said,
making the
they
move?
build a
Shit,
complex.
we doing it too,
Put
though.
up Wegmans in
Black
there. or
people doing it
something.
too. Like black people with money are fucking going in these fucking
And living right amongst the
Oh,
women.
I
Yeah.
bet. Whoever.
You wanna
It's a
live amongst
business
your peers.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Like if you took care of this shit, like you said, you wasn't killing
See,
niggas
that's
selling
the-
crack
that's the
outside,
thing.
fucking up the whole joint.
Yeah, but see,
This-
that's
but
where it
you-
becomes such a vicious cycle. Like again, it's like the
'Cause we
the
not taught.
grandparents,
Right.
Yeah,
I was
you
going to
not
get to
taught,
that,
yeah.
but it's like, then where do you take them? You know what I'm saying? Where do you put the people that you're moving out? You're gentrifying. You're moving
They
people
got
out
I
there.
mean, they
doing-
moving every, but you know, it's Section 8. It's Section 8 in Bowie now.
Nigga, I know. I know for a fact.
what I mean?
But the thing is, okay, so why are we so upset with them niggas? Because really, shit, if you getting kicked out of DC and you getting Section 8 to go to Bowie, nigga, that's a come up.
It's a come.
But you got to think, some people,
Niggas are so stupid that they think something wrong with that. Nigga, they looking out for you.
but
Nigga,
you know,
give
a
you an opportunity.
lot of my friends and family, like they wouldn't dare live in fucking Maryland. Like they just, it's a
Type of
dumbass,
ignorant,
it's a
shit
dumb,
ass.
it's a dumb mind state.
I don't feel bad for them.
But
sorry, dude.
they wouldn't.
I mean, nothing
I'm
against
telling
people,
you,
but
they don't like they hate Maryland.
trying
Like,
to stay out this motherfucker.
So Kyle, what do you think they can do then? Since it's black people's fault.
I didn't say that.
who said it? It wasn't me.
You did.
I didn't say
But
that.
I'm just saying, can you
I said
blame them?
I
What I'm
just said in
saying
certain
is,
situations you can't blame gentrification for everything.
right. You got so you got to blame the people that they're
You gotta
gentrifying.
take
and
ownership
shit or
of
whatever.
yourself.
But I
I
can't
agree with
blame a
that.
single mom, maybe, or something, or a household. Both parents got two
Hey, yeah.
jobs. They just can't
Hey,
afford to
hey,
pay
hey,
rent.
hey,
That high.
hey. No, nigga. No. You can live. Nah, man, it's some real shit. You can live in wherever the fuck you live in, the ghetto, whatever. You can live in fucking Upper Marlboro, wherever. There's schools. You get bused to a school. There's plenty of niggas that come out of DC, lived in the ghetto, the hood, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Went to college, got money, and now these niggas is living straight.
Yeah.
It's all about decisions. It don't matter where you at. I know niggas that grew up in Bowie that ain't worth shit, ain't got nothing, ain't gonna have shit, and they lived in Bowie. It's about
It's your drive, right?
Right.
To be better.
so now if you choose to all right be in the hood and that's where the fuck you gonna be, how mad can you be when they come in and say, all right, you ain't doing shit with it.
So let us do
Look at
something
this
with it.
motherfucker. We about to clean it up and make some bread.
Because I do like going to the gentrified areas. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, it's real shit.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. They put in stuff that people enjoy. But
People with money enjoy.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like, you know, so I think, again, that's why I say, like, gentrification in general is a mixed bag. And I think blame is the wrong word.
yeah, it's not blame.
Yeah, it ain't.
Because, I mean, everybody's in the situations that they're in to no fault of their own, mostly. Like, you can't help you where you were born. You can't help who you were born to. And, yeah, you can kind of help, you know, what you do with it. Because,
Right.
of course, it's people that came out of horrible situations that ended up doing amazing in life. It's people that came out of amazing situations that are just
Dude,
shitty.
ain't doing
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? But I think, again, I just put it back all on our generation because we're the people that know. We're the people that got to do something.
Yeah.
Or spread the wealth of what we know.
I mean,
think
you
it's
know,
a lot
like I be in DC all the time. I mean, I work in DC and I go home to home and do whatever I do. And a lot of the times, like the black people I go to, they'll cuss out white people. Like, hey, these motherfuckers coming in and taking over and shit.
Well, I mean,
And
it's the
hold on.
man syndrome.
I'll go out, not even go outside. Yeah, eventually I have to walk outside the house and I'll look at the block. The house will be nice as shit, and then it'll be the one that I'm working in. It's like got a fucking black cloud over it. Well, they came in and cleaned this motherfucker up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So
yeah,
be
they're
happy.
not running you out of here. They coming in and they doing what's wrong. You know what?
Doing what you
the fuck
actually
they want,
supposed to be
right?
doing to you.
They're bringing
to
their
your
market
body.
value up. They're buying the house. They're putting shit into it. Everything looks nice, and then it's your joint sitting here.
Because you do
mad-
want to feel
and then
safe.
you mad at them. Why the fuck you
Okay,
mad
but
at them?
see, so I get that, but there's another argument on the other hand. Not the specific people that choose to be in the situation that are in there, but let's go back to like the recession that hit, right? White people's neighborhoods recovered 2 times as faster than black people's. Like, it's some property values around the country for black people that still haven't recovered from the recession,
But black
and it's
people
about to be another recession.
We the first to get laid off.
We're the first to get laid off. So when they're talking about that 30% unemployment rate, they're talking about black people.
Yeah.
So it's certain situations like that where it's like, you know, so that's why I said the people that know better, that can do better, just got to do better and help who we can on the way up, if we can. But like, I feel you. Like,
Why y'all think niggas ain't working?
What you mean? Like working, like jobs, like right now? A
Nigga,
lot of
man.
us in the restaurant industry.
Nah. I mean, I mean, like we're talking about the gentrification, people being in the hood, niggas not making no bread.
They're working.
Niggas working on Section
They're just
8.
not making enough.
Because he said 30%. They talking about black people.
Well,
why the fuck is it? Are we saying they're being racist and niggas ain't hiring black
No,
people?
not hiring black people, but black people are generally the first people to get laid off. Historically speaking, like we are the first people to get laid off when layoffs start to happen.
Why y'all say that?
Because
It's
it's a fact.
historically speaking, they're like
This
numbers.
nigga hates this fact.
Nigga hates it.
Why? Hold on. Dog.
There are literally
that's
numbers
really
to
a number.
prove it. Yeah, there are numbers to prove it. There are statistics that black people are the first ones to get laid off. Like, I mean, just like it's a fact that we don't get the same
Kyle been
rates.
thinking he been white for so long.
Nah, dog.
He thinks he's Caucasian.
He didn't forget.
Nah, yo, you serious? Son? There's a number to back that shit
There
up.
are
That
a
black
bunch of
people
numbers
are,
to back it up.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man. I could say something, but fuck it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Damn, man. But hey, I mean, I still think that again, people put themselves in positions for this shit to happen. I mean, I know black people. Like I had one dude. I don't even might have told you the story. I was in a job one time, and the guy was telling me I work in DC, and the guy was telling me, yeah, you know, these motherfuckers constantly knocking on my door. They offered me 1.5, and the house was fucked up. Like, dog, I was sitting there like, yo, why the fuck wouldn't you take this shit? So I'm entertaining him. I'm talking to him. And he was like, yeah, man, these motherfuckers calling me about the house across the street. And I said, what about the house across? She said, I own that motherfucker too. I looked over the joint. Ain't have no for sale sign. So I said, oh, you renting the joint out? He said, nah, man, nobody live in that motherfucker. I've owned it for like 40 years. I said, hold up, Slim. So you mean you can make a clean 1.5?
And stay in the house you in.
Stay in the house you in. Yeah. I mean,
He said, nah. He said, you know, he used to work in the zoning or some type of board in D.C. And he said, they gonna buy that motherfucker and make $4 million. He said, why the fuck can't I get 2? The nigga was 72 years old.
Oh shit!
You got
I
That
said,
generational
Slim.
wealth he trying to do.
yeah, you gotta be able to like pass up, boy.
I said, so what are you doing? He said, man, I ain't letting nobody fuck me over.
He gonna get that $2 million and go get all the
not gonna get
whores.
it.
But
What area was
I get
this?
it.
What area was this?
It was northwest, somewhere off of Georgia Avenue.
You probably
like up top Georgia.
Yeah. All the way up
See,
top.
but at the-
$2 million though.
Okay.
Even with that though, like you gotta have a purpose behind what you're doing. Like, do you need that extra 800,000 at 72 years old? Like, what are you gonna do with it? Who are you
Right.
passing
Hey,
it to?
he ain't got no kids. I said, you got kids? He said, nah.
And
I said,
if
"Yeah,
that's
go
how he
live."
felt, then he could have fixed that house up and actually been able to get that 2-3 million.
yeah.
You
He
know what I'm
said he
saying?
said he kicked the son out like 4 years prior. He said ain't nobody been that motherfucker since.
I mean, hey, so many things are on an individual basis. Like that's just
See, but no, I run across a lot of black people that are
Mental
in
health.
the city. No, that'll be one of the episodes coming up. But look, motherfucking, I run into a lot of black people that just feel like, and I always ask them, like, and it's fucked up now that I think about it, because I always look at the conditions of the home and how they're living, and always wonder why the fuck they still there. Might not be right. But my thinking is, nigga, clearly you can't fix this house up because it's fucked up and you own it. And they let me know they own the house. I'm like, well, why wouldn't you accept the $900,000 or the $1 million? And all, you know, a lot of the answers that I get is they don't want to sell it to the white nigga.
But see, they could, like you said, you can take
Blocking the
equity. You can
That's
take
your
equity out
fucking-
your house and fix the shit up. You know
Somebody
what I mean?
needs to tell
But
them.
but a
He
lot
needs
of
to go
people,
read
There you
this
go.
book.
You need to start passing this book out, dog. Because I'm telling you, I just be dumbfounded. I'd be like, yo, I don't care what shade, nigga. If I'm fucked up and you want to offer me this, I'm taking it.
yeah.
Just
I mean,
like-
but you gotta think too, right? If somebody, again, devil's advocate, if somebody's been living in that house their whole life, it was their grandma's
all they
house,
know.
it was their parents' house, then they don't look at that house as fucked up. It's just a family house.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. So I mean, I'm just saying both sides of the fence. Like
and some
you know?
people just live like
yeah.
that's their normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like your normal is probably different from their normal. You know what I mean? So.
That normal is, man.
But now I do got a question because I had an argument with somebody about this. So a person I know, they ended up, this is in DC, they ended up buying a house 2012 for $250 on a workforce program. Today it's worth almost $1 million. So they were thinking about selling it, but what they want to do is they're trying to downgrade. So what they want to do is they want to buy a condo to live in and they want to buy one to rent out and have residually. But the argument that I had was before I would do the residual thing as far as the investment, it was a property around Brooklyn. This is Northeast. It was a property that was like, I think it was like $315, but it needed probably, like you said, like we were talking earlier, probably needed like $100,000 worth of work. But everything in Brooklyn is worth, like if it's fully rehabbed and all that, probably 500 and up. So
you already in
exactly.
Yeah.
So her whole thing was she didn't have like I said, the knowledge or the resources to. She knew about the renting it out. She didn't have the resources to, as far as like flip a house. What would you do in that situation? Like if you had the money, the cash to actually just, she wanted to buy a condo straight out, or would you flip a joint and then do the condo?
Just me, my preference. Like I would sell that house. I would get that $800,000, put that in the bank. I would go buy the condo, 3.5% down, FHA loan. You're gonna live in it, 3.5. You got the money in the bank for that. Pay that, live in the condo, go buy the house you're talking about, buy it cash. You get it less when you buy it for cash.
Yeah.
So let's say you get it down to like 260, 270, whatever. Then you get that $100,000 that you already got in the bank, fix that house up. You can take a bank loan and refinance it and pull all your money out. Or you could just flip that bitch and sell it for the $650.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There you go.
this nigga just heard Doug's choppy ass question.
Yeah, my question was choppy.
Together
but
gave you the
it was
whole scenario.
I tried. But he kind of figured. He knew what I was talking
Slim,
about.
this nigga know what he
I
talking
was like
about.
200K minus one.
No,
couldn't even
because
keep up
like
with
it was a
him.
whole
What?
argument. Like we had a whole argument about this. I'm like, man, no, this is what you should do. I would do this, blah blah blah, and it was a whole argument. So I asked my cousin because he does the same thing. He has a couple properties that he flips, and then he also has one that he rents. I asked him, and he kind of agreed with me. I just wanted to ask somebody else because, like I said, this is a whole
You
argument.
thought you was tripping, huh?
I mean, I
Make
knew I
you
wasn't.
feel like you
I
tripping.
knew I
You
wasn't
ever really
tripping.
talk to somebody, be like, yo, am I tripping?
Right.
You
I knew I
call
wasn't
somebody else
tripping.
like, man, listen to this.
But the whole argument was she didn't really know about that, like as far as the
I mean,
flipping
but again,
part.
that's
she
the
was
whole
kinda
issue.
more comfortable with the renting,
So
buying a joint.
That's
and
the whole issue
getting the
with us,
residual
man. It's the
income.
lack of knowledge, man. The lack of people helping or passing it along. So,
And
Right.
with that renting, how's being a landlord though?
good and bad. Like I just was in eviction court, had horrible tenants that like fucked up the house, had to go through the eviction process. This is the second time I had to do it. But then again, I got tenants that cash out me my money every month. No issues. I don't hear from them. I don't see the property.
Right.
So I mean, so many things are a mixed bag. Like you can get good tenants for a year, 2 years, and then you get the fucking
bad
devil that calls you for everything.
Yeah,
like
I
I
heard
mean,
straight horror stories as far as
there are definitely horror stories. But if you have your money right, like if you have your money right to withstand somebody not paying their rent for 10 months. So like the other house, like that house has been vacant since November. So I've been paying that mortgage since November. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, like I was in a position to do it. But like if you don't have the money to do it, you're gonna be fucked up.
You not renting it out, or you just?
Oh, it's already rented.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, my man, like from what I heard, like my man, he had bought I think it was probably like a year after I bought mine, so it's probably like 2009, maybe 2010. He bought his first. At first, he got a loan. He's about to go buy a house he can live in, but I think he ran into somebody that he knew, and they was like, "Nah, you should do this." He ended up buying a 4-unit apartment building in Northeast, and I think he got it for like $375.
It's still right
And
now.
yeah, but shit, now he ended up selling it for like, I think he sold it for like 8 something.
Yeah, 'cause I
and
was
he
about to
ended up
say,
moving
the minimum
going to
you gonna get is
Maryland
like
and buying
$650.
two it was like houses that were turned into like apartments.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to buy 2 of those just cash, and so
I ain't mad
it's
at
just
that.
like every time I hear that, I just kick myself in the ass because it's like, man, yeah, I didn't want to say his name, but goddamn,
That's his last name.
I mean,
Oh, that's even more information.
right.
What's your social,
Kyle?
Kyle?
What's the date of birth? We need to edit that.
Hey, no, you gotta figure out the first name and all
man. But nah,
kinds.
shout out
that's his
to
last
him.
name.
Yeah, nah, shout out, man. We gotta
my
edit that
bad,
out.
player.
God damn, he put his business out there and shit. But no, I
Keep
just.
that shit out.
But ever since he told me that, like I just kind of been in that mind state. So it's just like, man, I'm just looking for investment. So
A dude came to and he came to exterminate something in one of the properties I had. We just ended up talking. Old head dude. He said he got a 6-unit in DC. He paid, I want to say like $30,000 for it. I think it was like 1998, 97, run down.
See?
He lived in the joint, still lives in it to this day. Paid off, and he said he makes I think 3,200 a unit.
Damn.
So I was like, "What you going to do?" He was like, you know, like he was still working, but he owned his own company. So I was like, "What you going to do?" He was like, "Well, you know, either I can sell it and I can quit right now, or I can just keep making my money every month and keep." I mean, he still lives in the building,
Right.
Like you,
Shit, that's what he was doing. Like he lived in one and rented the other 3 out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
But he was
kick
just
my-
like the
I
horror
kick
stories
myself
with
all
the
the
tenants.
time.
Like he said, he was always in court, and it's hard to kick people out.
Oh,
in
DC is tough.
You know what
They
I'm saying?
have the toughest like tenant friendly laws in the country.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, if you making the money to do it, like you good.
Yeah.
So would you look to buy in DC, or you just
I'm good. I'm good until we hit a mean ass depression recession. Like I'm
Then you-
good.
You think a recession coming?
Hell yeah.
They said I heard they said we in one now. Somebody Bank
so-
of America just announced.
So
that,
we
or something
tiptoeing
like that.
in one right now, but like if people ain't going to be able to work, unemployment going to go up.
Oh, yeah,
like
then that will
the
cause
world
it.
is going to be shut down for at least 3 months. Like it's going to be a recession. So I hope everybody is saving up and getting their credit and everything together.
Yeah,
So-
I heard he's trying to open the country back up Easter Sunday.
But they're saying this is a rolling virus, so even if he do, like, it could come back around and then people be
Yeah.
back at home for 2 months. So it's like we may as well shut down now if possible and just get it over
Yeah.
with. But
Hey, dog, the second they open this shit up, man, let's just buy plane tickets and go.
Shit
You
is
gotta
low
go, man.
now.
You better
I'm
enjoy
buying a plane ticket with
something.
my stimulus package money.
Hey, yeah,
Man,
where
what-
that thousand
Oh yeah,
at, man?
what's the numbers on that? What you talking about?
Oh yeah, so they were saying like if up to 12 you get 1,200 up to 75,000. So if you make 75,000 or less, you're getting 1,200.
If you make more than
If
that,
you make more than that, they probably
fuck you
getting shit.
if you make
take,
more than
take
that.
off for that.
shit,
make
then the
money.
motherfuckers who need
So if you make
more.
like 80, they might give you 800. You know, I don't know those numbers, but if you make like 100, you might get
Oh, so you still get
$200.
something though.
Yeah, you still get something.
Shit.
But of course, if you make a meal, they ain't give you no
Oh yeah.
money.
Shit, them motherfuckers, them the ones who
Yeah,
need
but
it.
even 100,000 ain't what it used to be.
Oh hell
no.
no.
I know that
Hell
sound like
no.
first world problems,
No,
but it's
nigga,
really
it ain't.
not.
That's good problems for us. Though.
Yeah, it's a good problem, but that shit ain't.
That's some real shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I literally can't even fucking believe that sometimes, nigga, I be like, yo, where the fuck?
Dog, the more
where the money
money
go?
I make,
Like,
I be like,
dog,
what the
what?
fuck?
But you know what? A
damn,
lot of
I'm
us,
close, and I
a
be
lot of
like,
us,
yo.
when we start making that much, we just end up buying more.
We
shit.
spend up, yeah.
So you don't even feel
My shit
the
goes to, I think, bills, dog. 'cause
Oh
I
yeah,
don't be
bills.
buying shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the shit
That's what
still,
but the shit that you got, you just gotta look at your bills. You gotta look at your man.
I mean, that
You got time.
Nigga, I used to survive off much left, and now
Oh,
I
yeah,
got a
yeah.
rack. I'm like, yo, I'm still trying to like look
You
at
Go
always
look,
eat-
go
always
look at
eating
your shit that
Litos.
you got since you've been making that. Go look at what you got. I'm telling you, it's like I used to do the same shit every time I got a raise or got up. Man, I was just buy something else. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get out of that habit. You just
I
gotta,
mean, between that and then taxes too. Like the more
Oh, yeah,
money you
yeah,
make, the more
yeah,
taxes
definitely.
come out. So when people think they making 100,000, you really like 78, 80, 82 maybe, like depending on what your
Very
taxes hit
true.
on.
Very true.
So yeah.
But look, man, before the sound guy and the video dude starts, there he already looked like he all right. Yeah.
hey, man, we gave y'all some we gave y'all some education today, man.
Yeah, man.
You know
Is,
what I
hold on.
mean?
Is
I
there
better-
anything you'd like to say before we go?
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all for doing the show. I appreciate y'all for having the show, for actually being real relatable people.
man,
you ain't up
man.
here super fancy, like
Nah,
you
we
ain't
ain't doing
bougie.
that
Like
shit.
I understand what y'all are saying, so I appreciate y'all for doing this, man. And thank you for having me on.
Make sure y'all check out the book, Everything I Wish I Knew. What's the Instagram?
Black
Spell it out.
Black dot doors, BLXCK.DOORS. So we're dropping information up there whenever we can.
Yeah,
Make
you're
sure
very
y'all
candid
follow.
on there. You know,
Thank you, I appreciate
giving
it.
tips and everything.
Yeah, I knew this would be a good one, man. So I don't want to hear shit about we don't be talking no facts. So
Y'all got one
got
episode.
that.
We talking
Right.
facts. Y'all
We
can get back to
good.
the
Episode
bullshit.
7, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Lucky
We
7, man.
facts. We got to name that shit. I don't know. We'll figure out a cool name for
Yeah,
it. But
man, we got y'all.
yeah, episode 7, we done.
Yeah, we
Appreciate
out.
y'all. We out.
Whoop, whoop.